Hey, have you ever, like, stopped and really thought about when you should say house versus when you should say home in English? It feels like one of those tricky things, doesn't it?
Yeah. It catches a lot of people out when they're learning English.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, while house and home both talk about, a place someone lives,
Right.
they definitely have different feelings, different ideas attached to them.
Okay.
So today, we're actually going to get into that. We'll explore the difference so you can feel, more confident using them.
Good.
And we'll even throw in some other useful English words related to it all just to help your English sound, a bit more natural, more native-like.
Perfect. Okay, so let's start simple. Think about a house. What pops into your head?
Okay.
For me, it's like the actual building, you know. Maybe it's bricks, it's got a roof, floors.
Yeah, exactly. The physical structure.
Right, it's concrete.
Exactly. A house is really just that physical building. But home, that's different.
How so?
Well, home is much more about the feeling you get when you're there. It's that place you really want to get back to after a long day. Think about what makes a place feel like home to you. Maybe it's like your super comfy sofa or a favorite blanket, maybe the smell of dinner cooking, or just, hearing the voices of your family around, that kind of thing.
So, like, a really simple way to maybe put it is a house is just a place you live in, physically live there.
Oh, right.
But a home is where you feel like you belong, like you fit.
That's a great way to phrase it. Yeah. A house is a place you live in. A home is a place you belong. Perfect.
You could even have a sentence like, this is a nice house, but it just doesn't feel like home.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can totally imagine that scenario, can't you? It's the same building, the same four walls.
Yeah.
But that special feeling, that sense of, comfort and belonging, it's just not there yet.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about grammar? I feel like I've heard people make mistakes here, like saying go to home. Is that wrong?
Yeah, that's a really common one. And usually go to home isn't quite right.
Why not?
Well, it's a bit weird, but the word home, sometimes it acts more like an adverb, sort of like giving directions. Think about words like here or there. You don't say go to here, do you?
No, just come here.
Or go there, right? You just say go there.
Yeah, okay.
Home often works the same way. It implies the destination, the direction you're heading. So that little word to isn't needed.
Got it. So instead of go to home, the natural way is just
go home.
Go home.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you could say get home, like arriving.
Right.
Or come home.
Okay, examples.
Sure. You could say, I got home really late last night.
Right. No to.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, we went home right after the party finished.
Okay.
It just sounds smoother, more natural without the to. It's almost like your internal GPS just knows where home is, doesn't need the to for directions. Okay, so let's dig into some common phrases with home then, the ones that really carry that feeling, that idea. I know one that's a bit sad sometimes, broken home.
Yes, a broken home. That usually refers to a family situation where the parents have separated or divorced. It affects the children's sense of stability.
So you might hear like, she grew up in a broken home.
Exactly. That's a typical way it's used.
Okay, but on the flip side, there's stable home. Right. That sounds much better.
Definitely. A stable home is, the opposite. It means a secure, supportive, loving family environment.
Right.
It's often said that kids especially really need a stable home to, thrive.
Makes sense. Okay, what about places where older people live? I hear retirement home.
Right. A retirement home is basically a place designed for older adults, seniors, to live. Often they provide meals, activities, maybe some basic help if needed.
Okay. And is that different from a nursing home?
Yes, generally it is. A nursing home provides a higher level of medical care. It's for people, often elderly but not always, who need regular nursing attention, maybe help with daily living activities because of health issues.
So you might say, my grandpa lives in a retirement home, but maybe she works as a nurse at a nursing home.
Precisely. Different levels of care involved.
Got it. Okay, let's shift to something happier, food. Everyone loves food. What about home cooking?
Yes, home cooking. That phrase just evokes warmth, doesn't it? It refers to food cooked at home, usually simple, traditional, comforting food, like your mom or grandma might make.
Yeah, like comfort food.
Exactly. People often say, nothing beats good home cooking. It's got that nostalgic, comforting feel, the taste of home.
And how's that different from homemade? Like homemade cookies.
Good question. Homemade is a bit more general. It just means something was literally made at home, not bought from a shop or factory.
Ah,
So you could have homemade jam, homemade bread, homemade crafts, anything made by someone in their house.
so like, try this homemade jam. My neighbor made it.
Perfect example. So home cooking emphasizes the style and feeling of the food, that comforting, traditional taste.
Right.
Whereas homemade just tells you where it was made at home. You could have fancy homemade chocolates, which might not feel like home cooking, you know?
Okay, yeah, I see the difference now. That's clear. So let's swing back to house. How do we usually use that? More factually.
Yeah, exactly. House tends to be used in a more neutral, descriptive, almost architectural way. You're talking about the building itself.
So you describe it like it's a 2-story house.
Right. Or we're looking for a 3-bedroom house. Specifies the size or layout.
Yeah, and you can use adjectives like a spacious house if it's big, or maybe shabby house if it's run down.
Yep. Or a cozy house. That means small but comfortable and warm.
Cozy, I like that one. What if nobody lives there?
Then it's a vacant house. Vacant just means empty, unoccupied.
Okay. And what about actions?
Yeah.
Things you do with a house?
Well, you usually use house when talking about transactions or construction. So you buy a house, sell a house, or rent a house.
Makes sense.
You can also build a house from scratch. Or, on the other end, maybe demolish a house, which means tear it down.
Right.
And there's a term, hopefully you don't encounter it personally, but if someone can't make their mortgage payments, the bank might repossess the house.
Ooh. Okay. That means the bank takes it back.
Yeah, essentially. They take ownership back because the loan wasn't paid.
Gotcha. Okay, so an example sentence for house.
How about this? They rented a cozy little house near the beach last summer. It was super chill.
Chill. That's kind of slangy, right? Like relaxed.
Totally. Yeah, chill is very common, especially in American English. Just means relaxed, laid back, cool, pleasant.
Nice. Good one to know. Okay, what other everyday English words are connected to this whole house and home idea?
Oh, there are loads. If you're actively looking for a place to live, either to buy or rent, you're house hunting.
Ah, house hunting, like searching.
Exactly. It can be quite an adventure or stressful.
I bet. And then when you find a place and move in, there's a party, right?
Yes, that's a housewarming party.
Yeah.
It's a tradition, certainly in the U.S., to invite friends and family over to celebrate your new place.
And people bring gifts.
Often, yeah. Small gifts for the new house. And it's a nice way to meet the neighbors, too. Maybe someone brings over some...
Homemade cookies.
Haha, exactly. See? Connecting back. It's a very American neighborly thing to do sometimes.
Cool. What if you want to fix up your place, make changes?
That's called home improvement. Big industry in the States. It covers everything from painting a room to adding an extension. Basically, making your house nicer or better.
Like, or
Yeah, exactly, those ideas.
Yeah.
And within home improvement, you might talk about specifics, like you might redecorate a room.
redecorate. That's like changing the look. Paint, furniture.
Pretty much, yeah. More cosmetic changes. But if you're doing bigger work, like maybe knocking down a wall or changing the kitchen layout, you'd probably say you're going to remodel the kitchen.
Remodel. Okay, so more structural.
Generally, yeah. Redecorate is surface stuff. Remodel is changing the structure or function more significantly.
Got it. What about people? Words for people who manage the home.
Sure. Traditionally, you have the terms housewife for a woman or house husband for a man who stays home to manage the household, cooking, cleaning, etc., while their spouse works outside the home.
Okay, housewife, house husband.
Yeah, though maybe more common nowadays, especially when kids are involved, you hear stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad.
Ah, stay-at-home mom, dad. How's that different?
It specifically emphasizes that the parent's primary role at that time is caring for the children at home rather than working outside the home. It feels a little more modern to some people, maybe less tied to just housework.
Right, and that's pretty common in the U.S.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice many families make for one parent to stay home while the kids are young. It's a recognized family structure.
Interesting cultural note there.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot. Let's do a super quick check to see if we've got it.
Good idea.
All right, sentence 1. I went to home. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect, usually. Remember that internal GPS?
Right, just I went home.
Perfect.
Okay, number 2. I got home at 6.
Sounds perfectly natural.
Good. Number 3. I bought a new home.
Correct. And saying home there suggests more than just the building, right? It implies you're creating that special place, that feeling.
Yeah, the emotional connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one. I bought a new house.
Also correct, but this one focuses more on the actual transaction, the physical property you acquired. Still right, just a slightly different nuance.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
really getting this little difference between house and home, right? It actually makes a big difference in sounding more natural in English, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It helps you express exactly what you mean, whether you're talking about bricks and mortar or that special feeling of belonging.
Great. Well, hopefully this has cleared things up for you listening.
Yeah, we hope so. And hey, if you need a written copy of all this, maybe to review the vocabulary,
Oh, yeah. If you need a transcript, you can download it at the link below this recording.
definitely check that out if you want to go over the terms again.
So we really hope this chat about house and home helps you out. Try using these words. Listen for how native speakers use them.
Paying attention to these small details really adds up and makes your English sound, well, much more fluent and natural.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.